works as a government employee, and he's about to reveal their most horrifying secrets. You might have noticed how presidents always look shell-shocked right after being elected, as if they were just told the darkest secret in the world. Well, it turns out this is true. They're shown a VHS tape. The tape was always a bit of an urban legend in his office. The story goes, once you've reached the highest level of clearance, you are sat down and shown this tape, which reveals every secret that the government is hiding. He never actually believed it, but it was fun water cooler talk. The first time he realized something much darker was going on, he was staying late after work. There were some documents he needed to print out. The notification on his computer showed that his document was being printed, but he didn't hear any noise or paper coming out of his printer. It looked like he accidentally clicked on a printer on another floor. It was extremely forbidden for him to enter this floor, but it was late and everyone else had gone home by then. He thought it'd be fine to go grab his documents quickly. He really should have just let it be. He got into the elevator and rode it up to the 7th floor. He emerged onto the mostly empty office area, made his way through the halls, eventually spotting the printer with his freshly printed papers. However, as he went to grab the papers, he noticed some light buzz in a meeting room nearby. He approached the light and looked through the window to see roughly 10 people inside. In the room was a large, old-looking TV on a cart with rows of folding chairs. He didn't think much of it and started walking off until he heard the door open.
Hey, Mr. Berkowitz, right? Jesus, man, we were supposed to start 15 minutes ago. Get in here.
I'm sorry, I'm not...
I don't care why you're late, just get in here.
He meekly tried to butt in again, but was already being pulled into the room. The man closed the door and walked to the front by the TV. He thought about leaving, but decided just to see it through at this point and sit in the very back row. He quietly sighed at the thought of having to sit through some sort of boring informational seminar or irrelevant training session. Then the man who brought him into the room started talking.
I know you all read through the emails and signed your releases, but again, any discussion of this presentation with anyone who does not have top clearance is absolutely forbidden.
He then dimmed the lights. Crap, it felt like he missed any window of opportunity he had to leave, and all of this sounded way above his clearance level. One of the men at the front of the room pulled out a VHS tape from a bag and very slowly and securely put it in a VHS player and hit play. He took a deep breath. Those water cooler conversations he had had with his coworkers were starting to flow to the top of his mind. The tape then started. Various disclaimers about this being incredibly confidential material and seals of government organizations. He'd seen lots of videos like this already, but something was off about this one. Something about the next logo was very strange. It was the seal of the presidential libraries, but there was a blue hand on the left shoulder of the eagle. Then the tape cut to a logo that he had never seen before. Committee for the Protection and Preservation of Human Consciousness. The video cut to a room that looked similar to the Congress floor, but with some strange differences. Everything looked very dated, like it was a video from the 40s or 50s. You notice what looked to be a choir in all outfits huddled right next to each other. It really felt like he shouldn't be seeing any of this. Then the tape cut to a man at a podium in the front of the room. He spoke.
Members of the committee, I thank you all for coming tonight. We are lucky to be in the good graces of our visitors tonight.
The camera slowly panning over all the somber faces of everyone seated in the room. The man continued his speech.
I am pleased to say that humanity, faced with a dire ultimatum, has come to a decision. To our esteemed guests from across the solar system, we are thankful for the opportunity you have given us to negotiate with you.
At that moment, he suddenly felt nauseous watching this tape. This was the truth. We had made contact with extraterrestrial life. The man continued speaking.
May this moment, which will be held in secrecy through the rest of time, be appreciated as a critical milestone for human civilization. Tonight is not a victory. However, we are faced with two options: accepting this agreement or extinction. We made our choice, and I believe that time will show that this was the right decision. I hereby announce that we accept the agreement. We honor the agreement that the luminaries hold the right to visit planet Earth on a recurring basis. They will be allowed to consume for nourishment a majority of the human population. This parallel history may suggest that mass extinction events are the result of man-made folly as opposed to the work of external forces.
At this point, he wanted to escape, but he didn't even know what he'd be running from. The tape then cut to the somber committee members in attendance and the members of the choir in the corner, who now looked horrified.
We should acknowledge the privilege of knowing that there is indeed life in the cosmos, and that extraterrestrial life has chosen to visit our planet, and that the cycle of nature extends beyond the confines of this Earth.
He sat there thinking about how he should have never stayed late. At this point, it looked like the speaker was about to cry.
Our final acknowledgement, as part of this agreement, is that we accept the luminaries as the great almighty, as the entities we will now refer to as God.
The tape then cut back to the choir, who were now all cowering in fear. Then the man by the TV spoke up.
We are obligated to get to the end of this tape, but you need not to look. Please feel free to cover your eyes.
He noticed that the other seats in the room decided to do so, but he couldn't look away. The last moments of that tape is something he will never forget. The people in the choir were running around the room as blurry spots started covering them and ungodly things started happening to them. The attendees were sitting in their chairs, frozen, shivering, crying. The now dismantled choir members strewn across the room. Finally, the man at the podium spoke his final line.
The agreement has been ratified by the luminaries. Thank you all for attending.